What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video. Today I'm going to be giving you some sauce on how to fix those boxy vocals. All right, now this is a very common problem, especially for those recording in rooms that aren't perfectly ideal. Okay, sometimes you're gonna have mixes like this one where you kind of want to record a bit more boxy, a bit more warm, so that you can really dial those vocals in. Alrighty, so what I'll be covering is really just my process to dealing with the bass end of your vocals. Okay, this is really a make or break region. Okay, if you don't get this right, what tends to happen is you just have all this build up and all this junk that just makes your mix really unlistenable. All right, and as you can see, we have this Shoreline Mafia vocal preset. You can check out the link in the description for FL Studio. And yeah, really this is a good example of how you can treat that kind of boxy range, okay, which is kind of going to be between 200 to 800, somewhere around there. You're going to be getting a lot of that build up. All right, so we'll take a quick listen to what we have. I'm going to A/B it so you can hear that this vocal is actually recorded a bit too boxy, you know, so this makes a really good example. So pay attention.
Hey, I'ma show you where my savage at. Yeah, right around town, I'll solve a fall. I keep a paw, I let it blow. Shooter got a, then it's got a scope. Do you want beef or do you want smoke? Yeah, I just want the racks, but I'm passionate. We be at the party, you just crashing. Big bossy, you ain't even management. And I'm on the fool like a laxative. Yeah, point me to the kitchen, let me whip my wrist. If I talk to her once, I could take your. Yeah, other love me when I talk like this. Yeah, love me, boy, I can't waste.
Why these niggas talking to me funny?
Right, as you can see, when we have that vocal chain dialed in, things just sound a lot better. You know, suddenly we have that kind of 3D thing going on where the vocal is kind of just sitting around the beat. Those are the results you want. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first, what I recommend to everyone is that before you start mixing your vocals, you know, get yourself a channel strip plugin. Okay, it doesn't need to be this one. It can be any SSL channel strip, Neve channel strip, whatever, but use this technique. Okay, and the technique that I make use of is to first gravitate straight towards whatever bands you have for your low mid frequencies and your low frequencies. Low frequencies mean anything really below 600 down. This is a shelving EQ, okay, so it's going to be doing something like this, okay, just at around 200, and then immediately just listening in, right? Listen before you do, don't just do, right? Listen in. I personally like to work from 200. It's just a range that has worked for me for many years, you know. And what I like to do is just dial that back a little bit. Okay, sometimes you may have a vocal that sounds, you know, too bright. You can boost this range, but generally you're going to be reducing. Okay, now as you can see, 200 cut minus 2.5 dB, done. Right? If I turn this off,
hey, I'ma show you where my savage at. Yeah, right around town, I'll solve a fall. I keep a paw, I let it blow. Shooter got a.
Right, it actually almost sounds like we're doing a treble boost, right? Because all we're doing is we're equalizing the vocal, right? We're getting rid of a little bit of low end, and thus we're going to end up with more body and top end. Okay, so try that out. Now again, I'm going to be doing a bell style cut, right? A bell style cut is just going to be something as simple as that at again 200, right? And I'm just going to be cutting. So in the end, our cut kind of looks like that. And as you can see, we're getting rid of everything we don't want, and then we're left with everything that we do want. And from this point on, we can actually start mixing our vocal. Why? Because we've got rid of all of that boxiness, all of that nastiness, right? We can actually start then going into individual frequencies and doing what we need to do. Okay, now these frequencies aren't always going to be perfect. Sometimes I'm working from 300, 250, you know, whatever, 350, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is just a good starting point, and it generally works for me. I think it'll work for you, so try it out. Now once you've actually done this, right, and the reason why I say do this first is because I see a lot of people using a high pass filter before actually EQing. Okay, now this can work, but in my opinion, I find that people tend to pull out too much. Okay, because what happens is now you're leaning on this singular high pass filter to get rid of all of this bass, right? And what ends up happening is your vocal starts to sound telephonic. Okay, if you've ever had a vocal that sounds too thin, this is probably why. Okay, people tend to cut too much. So let me boost this way more than I should, and then you can listen to what that sounds.
Hey, I'ma show you where my savage at. Yeah, right around town, I'll solve a fall. I keep a paw, I let it blow. Shooter got a, then it's got a scope. Do you want beef or do you want smoke?
Right, just right there at 144. In this mix, obviously, we needed to do a bit more because there's quite a big bass, so you want to make sure that the vocal is kind of just tucked past that. But you heard when I was at about 500, the vocal just starts to sound like a telephone effect, right? You don't want that as your main vocal, obviously, unless it's, an effect that you're going for. But yeah, 160 is kind of going to be that upper limit, all right? You don't really want to go much further than that. So just to kind of summarize everything, let's turn this channel strip on and off just so you can hear how much heavy lifting we're doing with one plugin, all right?
Hey, I'ma show you where my savage.
Yeah, right around town, I also a fall. I keep a paw, I let it blow. Shooter got a, then it's got a scope. Do you want beef or do you want smoke?
Right? It's just dealing with all of that proximity effect. It's dealing with all of that kind of tubbiness that's really filling out the speakers in a bad way. And overall, it's just, as I said before, allowing us to hear more of the frequency ranges that we do want, okay? So as you can see, that works. Now, the next technique is not actually going to be an EQ technique, but it's going to be a bit of a secret thing that we can do with compressor plugins, okay? Especially with these kind of analog emulated plugins, right? What tends to happen with compression is that we don't just get compression, okay? We tend to get, something going on with the low end. We tend to get something going on with the top end. But what I've learned to really enjoy, and I use these things kind of carefully, is that I'm using the CLA plugins from time to time. As you can see, I'm using it on the background vocals. On the main vocal chain, I'm using the CLA 2A, which is the LA2A kind of clone. And I'm using it because I wanted a little bit more top end without actually having to EQ the top end, because what I find with the CLA plugins is they've got a bit of a brighter sound to them, right? A lot of the Waves plugins have this brighter thing going on, and the more you use them, the more you use any plugins, the more you'll start to be able to kind of listen to these differences in how certain compressors sound. For example, this LA2A will sound a lot different than the IK Multimedia LA2A, right? Each one is going to approach the way that they deal with the coding differently. But again, with this LA2 or with the CLA 2A, I'm going to be using this, and what it's going to do is introduce a little bit more top end, right? So listen to this.
Hey, I'ma show you where my savage.
Yeah, right around town, I also a fall. I keep a paw, I let it blow. Shooter got a, then it's got a scope. Do you want beef or do you want smoke? Yeah, I just want the racks, but I'm passionate. We be at the party, you just crashing. Big bossy, you ain't even management.
Right, so hopefully you heard. This was a bit hard to hear, but really what's happening is that the compressor is being triggered by the kind of low end chestiness of the vocal, but it's allowing through some more top end. So it's pulling down the vocal whenever there's all of this kind of low mid energy, but it's kind of allowing a bit more top end to pass through, okay? So with that being said, listen again, right?
I just want the racks, but I'm passionate. We be at the party, you just crashing. Big bossy, you ain't even management.
Right, listen to that. That's kind of being passed through. It's tamed, but it's being passed through.
I just want the racks, but I'm passionate. We be at the party, you just crashing. Big bossy, you ain't even.
Right, that's still all over the place.
I just want the racks, but I'm passionate. We be at the party, you just crashing. Big bossy, you ain't even management. And I'm putting on the fool like a laxative.
Right, so there you go. Right, simple as that. Try out different compressors, see what their tone sounds like, and if it works for your mix, use it. Alright, now the last technique is kind of a bit of a bonus, right? I recommend you go watch the full breakdown of this template. But, another reason why I often find vocals tend to be quite boxy is that you're allowing a build up of too much of that, as I say, 200 to 800 range with your background vocals, okay? So as you can see, we got this double effect right here. We're doing some compression and we're doing some EQ, but notice how I haven't even seen this EQ right today, but I just know that I most likely cut around this region. Why? Because I wanted the background vocal, the doubler, to be a doubler. I didn't want it to be another vocal that just sits straight on top of the vocal. I know immediately I'm going to run out of headroom, or I'm going to run out of space in this kind of region right here. And as you can see, 343, and then I'm using a high pass filter at 420, right, for that telephone effect that we were speaking about earlier, right? So if we solo this out, you can then hear what it sounds like, right?
Around town, I was so far. I keep a paw, I let it blow. Should've got a nice got scope.
Right, and as you can hear, that double is just being used to emphasize different words, okay? It just adds on that kind of background accent, but it's neither too bright nor too bassy, okay? And as I say, the way that I achieve that is simply through compressing it, right? Probably quite hard, and then just EQing it using a kind of telephone effect thing. And just by doing that and using that philosophy, I can stack on all sorts of different vocals without building up too much of this low end boxy energy, okay? And the results speak for themselves. So if I turn this off, you can then hear.
Right around town, I was over fall. I keep a pole, I let it blow. Shoulda got a, now it's got a scope.
Right, that can be cool, but once we tuck it in.
Right around town, I was over fall. I keep a pole, I let it blow.
Right, way more focus on the lyrics of the track, way more focus on the kind of storytelling of the track. But yeah, man, hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's kind of a few techniques on how to treat that boxiness in your vocals. I hope you learned something. Definitely make sure to check out those links in the description. Go check out that Farai's vocal enhancer if you are an FL Studio user, right? If you want to learn more about recording techniques, check out my vocal recording course, vocal mixing course, all of the good stuff. And I'll check out the next one. Peace out.